Hey guys. I'm on the bed again. I still have no idea, like, if I'm gonna make my first video about depression public. But if it does, you'll probably see this video quickly follow. So, yeah. The only reason I'm making a second video about depression, maybe I'll make more after this, I don't know, but I didn't quite say everything I wanted to say in that video. Like, there was a lot in that video that was good, in my opinion, but I didn't quite get, oh my god, my hair, I didn't quite get to certain spots that I wanted to get to. Yeah, so one of the things I wanted to do was actually describe what it's like for us, like what it feels like. It's for a lot of people, depressed people are just sad. I don't think this is actually like everyone thinks this, but I think it's like common knowledge that like people know that depression is just more than sadness. But that's my hope, at least. But if you didn't, I'm actually telling you right now, depression is not just sadness. Sadness is kind of, it's like everywhere, but there's so much other things mixed with it that makes it a lot more complex. And sadness is a big part of it. Like, but guilt, sometimes jealousy, loneliness, sometimes anger, despair, and all these adjectives. That's like pretty much the basis of what it feels like for us. Also, emptiness. Emptiness is a big part. A lot of people, a lot of depressed people with depression, if you ask them what it feels like, they will probably say like something about emptiness. I feel empty, I feel lost, something like that. And that's there's no kind of, we can't think of any other way to describe it besides feeling empty and lost. When it's just like that normal stage I was talking about, where it's just like, I don't feel that great, and it's not a meltdown, but it's just like I don't feel that great. We usually feel lost or empty. And when I say empty, I mean goddamn. See, it's complicated. Trying to think of an example that could be seen as emptiness. Okay, for those of you that like have gotten broken up from a boyfriend or girlfriend, like afterwards, or like maybe even right after, you feel this emptiness where they used to be, that like they're not there anymore, so you have this hole that you don't know what to do with or how to fill it with good things because that person used to be there. That's kind of an example of what I mean when I say emptiness. But then again, like you'd have to be in a relationship to know that feeling. Get broken up from a relationship to know that feeling. It's just, and also with the lost thing with the breakup, like you can sometimes feel so lost, like even if like you guys had like a normal relationship where you don't talk to each other that much, but you're still a couple and still functioning, like, but you still feel like they did so much with your life that when they're gone, you just, what am I supposed to do now? They were such a big part of my life that I don't know what to do with myself. Pretty much what like depressed people go through. And it's not even like about like a particular person or a situation. It's just we feel empty and lost sometimes for no reason. Like sometimes we are triggered, like something triggers us to feel that way, or like it just comes out of nowhere. It's just this emptiness and this lost feeling that you don't know how to get rid of it, honestly. It's complicated, as you can see. Another thing, yeah, that's not pretty much what I wanted to say, but you get the picture. Okay, let's see what else I wanted to say about depression. A lot of, for me personally, I know this is bad, but then again, depression and anxiety isn't that great either. I rely a lot on other people. That's why particularly sometimes I feel so lonely. Like I feel more lonely than any other emotion, I think. I don't know. I rely on like the people around me so much, particularly my like friends, that like if no one is talking to me for a little while, let's say like a few hours, like I start to get kind of fidgety and like I need to talk to someone, like I need to know someone's there. It's just like I said, it's not that great emotionally, mental health wise, but then again, depression and anxiety isn't that great either. So yeah, I get really lonely, and with that loneliness I just kind of feel empty, like when I'm not. But by the way, when I say like I get lonely a lot, I don't mean like every single day. I mean pretty much like when I'm already just kind of down in mood and depressed, I will start feeling lonely more than often than not, but whatever. It's just when I'm actually in a good mood, I little bit much when I'm actually already like sad and depressed and in that mood. Like it's more of extreme emotion when I'm already depressed. So it like the emotion fucking words. But you get what I mean. It's pretty much it. It changes. My emotions change with my mood, pretty much. Like if I'm down, my emotions will react to that in a more extreme way. And when I'm happy, my emotions aren't that extreme. The bad emotions, at least. I have issues, like any person with mental illnesses. Like, we have issues that we have to cope with, and some of us don't know how to cope with them. Some of us are trying to cope with them. Some of us are like actually getting there with the coping. A thing that I wanted to say was about you. Like, if you're not a person with mental illnesses and you get angry at them, that part when I said in the first video I wanted to say was we already feel so shitty about ourselves already that we don't need someone to pile on to that already, because for me, like, another thing is, like, I already feel so shitty about myself. Like, there's days where I look in the mirror and look at myself like I am the ugliest person ever. And if someone kind of packs on that idea that I am not the ugliest person ever, but they like point out my flaws, it overwhelms people when you do that. It really does, and it really makes them worse than they already are. They don't need you to point out these things that they're already aware of, that they're already trying to fix. You don't need to pack on these bad things that they're already trying so hard to deal with. I know this from experience, because I know people in particular, I'm not telling you who, but let's just say they're related, that I've dealt with their negative input all my life. And it really, if you're exposed for a long time to, like, any kind of abuse, you will start to believe them. And I think that's happened with me, because this particular person, like, even if they were joking, they probably were intended it to be a joke, but like literally every day for almost a little less than 10 years, I dealt with this kind of verbal abuse. It starts to sink in after a while, and it changes you. It really does. And you start to believe their words. You start looking at yourself in the mirror and thinking, I really am shit. I really am fat. I really am ugly this way. and I am really a terrible person or something like that. It really sinks in. And that's, like, if you're already damaged, like, already, and if you have someone piling on all this verbal or physical abuse, that has such a huge effect on you. And, like, one of the best things for people that have had this happen to them is try to go out of your way to make them feel like they're the best person in the world, but don't oversell it, because we know when, like, you're trying to oversell it, it makes us kind of feel worse. So don't oversell it. That kind of has a negative effect. And just try to make them happy. Like, try to make them see what you see, pretty much. Because I know from my friends and stuff, why am I getting emotional? I don't know. But, okay. Okay. I know my friends, I know from personal experience, my friends see me as this gorgeous, beautiful woman who has an amazing personality and all that. And I know my friends view me like this, but in my head, I don't view myself like that. And when they point out how, like, good I am, or my, like, values and my looks and stuff like that, it's hard for me to believe. They don't ever sell it, but it's hard for me to believe after all these years of being told the opposite thing. It really, positive input is like negative input. You have to do it for a long period of time to have it sink into the person. So you have to do it on a regular basis, and it will start sinking in for them. It may take longer than they want or you want, but like the negative input, negative input I think is more potent than positive, because I think negative input, like, you can do it for a shorter period of time but have a really strong effect. But with positive, especially after that negative input, with positive input, it's gonna take longer, because they're in that mindset where they think so shitty about themselves, that you just need to, oh God, it's been almost 20 minutes. Dear Lord, I'm sorry. But anyway, you get what I mean. It's pretty much try to go out of your way to be nice, to say a good compliment. Like, the smallest thing, like, you look really good in that dress. Like, but you have to do it on a regular basis to actually have it sink in for them. Because from experience, I know, because with Dane, like, I know he thought I was the hottest girl ever, and at the beginning of our relationship, I was so unused to that, that, like, I didn't believe him. Like, you think me, like, my body is actually sexy. That's odd. But, like, it was hard for me to believe. But after a while, even though after a while, I did slowly start to believe it, but it wasn't that sunken in yet. Experiences. I'm to this day, like, I am still struggling with self-image and self-confidence. I literally have the lowest self-confidence ever. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, there's like rare days where I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I'm hot. Like, damn. But that's like a really, very, very, very rare day. But usually I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, eh. And I usually point out, like, a few of the flaws. And I'm just like, I really wish this would change. Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. My head. Maybe to help people. Mind people. Help. Yes. Okay.